So, Danny, all these lads who've come up here tonight, you know, we've had the older end, Barry, and told us what it's like to play with Eric. We've had the younger end telling us what it's like to play under Eric. So you work alongside him, he's your assistant manager. How important was he to what happened while you were manager at this football club?
Well, it's safe to say that we wouldn't have achieved what we had achieved had he not been there. It's quite an easy answer to your question. But I see the three boys up there, and lots of lads in this room who've been connected with Eric over a certain period of time, and I even talk about Pat and Alan and lads of us making that, all the lads in here. He's left something with them, he's left a memory with them because of the person he was. The three lads here and the rest of the team that came to the first team from Eric was from Eric. It wasn't from me. It wasn't anything that I knew about these lads before. He just had a fantastic trust in what they possibly could achieve. And there was still potential. We still had to test them. But when you get somebody like Eric telling you about this lad's good enough, this boy's good enough, don't hesitate with him, believe in him, you just do it. So from my point of view, I had 5, 6, 7 new players, all chomping at the bit to play in the first team. And so Neil comes in, and then John Henry and people like that come in later on with the experience. But these lads were the nucleus of the team that's come through Eric. And for them to still have the respect and the love for Eric, in fairness, is what I would have expected anyway. Because he was just a fantastic human being. I mean, he was so sad, and I know we don't want to be sad tonight, and I don't want to be sad. But at the same time, you have to remember his ability to manage was amazing. And you talk about getting things out of players at certain times, and you can give them instruction, and you can tell them, and you can flog them, and you can run them, and you can do that. But they still won't do it to 100% unless they believe in you. And they believed in Eric. And that was just a wonderful addition or help to me as we went on that magic journey.
And obviously you just took over your first managerial position, obviously after taking over from Viv. How key was it for you to have someone with that experience of kind of running a football club, if you like, for you personally, taking on your first job?
Well, it wasn't just a football club, it was a community. You know, when you've got somebody that is so respected in the area, like Eric was and the family and whatever, it's something you've got to call upon, because I didn't know what the community area was like. I didn't know what Barnsley was like. I knew they were going through a tough time with obviously with the miners and losing their employment and things like that. But Eric was in the thick of it. You know, Eric was in the families in here, and their mums and dads were in the thick of it. I didn't know that. You know, I'm a little lad from Wigan. You know, so I'm not from the area. Although I've lived in the area for a bit, but I still didn't know the real intensity of the problems that we're having here. But Eric did, and he was such an understanding person. Anybody that we would go out, we could have a lunch sometimes. We'd go and have a pint after training sometimes at night, and everybody wanted to speak to Eric, because he just felt it made people feel part of the football club, and vice versa. I think they thought that Eric was a massive part of the community and somebody they could reach out to, and somebody who was really fortunate that he had the gift to be able to converse with people quite easily, quite relaxed, and then that big magic smile came out and it melted everybody's heart.
Obviously on that day, 26th of April, 1997, I can remember talking to Neil Redfern once in Meadowhall, actually. I was talking to Neil in Meadowhall, and we got talking about everything, and he said, I'm not going to swear, so he said, I'm not going to bullshit you, Dave. He's the best coach I've ever worked under.
Yeah.
Would you second that?
Well,
as a coach?
I can't really talk about that. He's one of the best assistants I've ever worked with, and he's absolutely. The lads who have played the game, I don't want to disrespect anybody starting who's not played a professional game, but the lads who will know, you get a feel for somebody, you get a trust with somebody when they're asking you to do certain things. Eric got the instant reaction that he wanted virtually all the time. I can remember many times that anybody disagreed with his assessment of how you trained, how you did this, that and the other. Very rarely. Now, he was 6 foot, I know that, and that's why I brought him in, because he's a bit bigger than me, which helped a lot. But they didn't. They never stood up to him, not because of his size and not because of his stature. It's because they believed in what he was telling them. And like the lad said before, they believed it would help them. And when you've got that trust, you don't want to go very far after that to the next coaches. And we look at coaches now in youth, and I know Tom was doing stuff at Sheffield Wednesday, and some of the lads will be doing other things. The one thing about Eric, he never, and I say this with the utmost respect, he never used it as a platform to get somewhere different. What Eric did, he wanted to see the lads that he coached and trained in the first team. That was him in done. He was as happy as Larry. He was so proud, such a proud man in that respect, when he could see somebody pulling that red shirt on in Oakland here, and you think, I had something to do with that. But the modesty of the fella, he would never tell you that, but you knew deep down when that little smirk came on as Sunday Scottish coach 2 against Man United, all Nicky and Eddie and that. He was such a proud person when those boys performed, and they did it, not just once, but many times.
So your manager, he's assistant manager. Did he have the ability to change your mind on certain things?
Yeah, of course he did. Without a doubt. I mean, he's pushed the boys into the team in lots of respect. Yes, we saw the boys play. Of course, we saw them play. We had to put a team together, and a team together doesn't walk out of the youth team together. There's all 11. You've got to find your areas where they get the best out of them and play the best football. So yeah, of course. Listen, we can argue like, for fun, but there'll be a smile at the end of it. And I'd agree with him. He disagreed with me, and vice versa. And that's it was healthy, very, very healthy. When he did really disagree with me, I agree with him.
I'd like to just give you, Danny, one of my memories, or my instant memories of Eric. And I want you to relate this back to him being a coach and a player and a man manager, as you said. When I first started in radio, obviously it was the Premiership season in 96, 97. I came down here with Steve Banyard, I was introduced to you and to Eric, and this is who you're going to be interviewing after games and whatever else. It was a big thing for me as a Barnsley lad. And I remember playing Chelsea in the first Super Sunday game, and we got thumped 6-0 by a quality Chelsea side, let's not get me wrong. I can. But I was sat in the press box, and I'm looking at people, the national press. I've always been used to looking at local press. And I'm looking at national press, people like Alan Green, people like Jonathan Pearce, and I felt a little bit overawed by it all. And I remember speaking to Eric down here the tunnel, not that one, after the game. And he said to me, he said, how did it go, young lad? And I said, well, I felt a bit overawed, if I'm honest. I said, the people like Jonathan Pearce and Alan Green, and I'm just this lad from Barnsley. And he said, they're no effing better than you, pal. Always remember that. They're doing exactly the same job. Don't think about where they're from or who they're working for. They're exactly the same as you. They're no better. And I guess, listening to what I'm guessing tonight, we're looking at quality players that these lads are playing against, and you're telling them, and probably Eric, they're no better than you. Just go out and beat them. Go out and do it.
Well, you've got to instill some level of confidence into the players that they're going out and playing against these world-class players and these established players that everybody knows up and down the country. Our lads, there's not many new about our lads. The ones with the more senior ones will have been known, in your Johns and the Wilco and people like that, and Tom. They'll be known because they've had a good career and they've been in the paper many times. These lads was the first little journey, but by the way, after that, they knew about it, which was fantastic, and they gained so much respect. And you look at the way that Eric conducted, not just himself in the professional area, but how he had made the boys conduct themselves very similar. And they had so much respect in that. They were very humble, they had a lot of humility for the opposition, blah, blah, blah. But come on 90 minutes, you give them some. Give them some, because if they want to have a little bit of an off day, a little bit of an easy day against little old Barnsley, they might have a shock. And we upset one or two people. And by the end of it, you get a hammering sometimes, 6-0 or 5-0 or 7-0 or whatever it may be, you get a hammering. I think those times is a sign of respect, because the teams you play in have got to be on top of the game. And if they're on top of the game, they're likely to do that to most teams. And so when somebody's scraping through 1-0 against you, you think, you know what, there's not a lot between, there's not a lot going wrong here. It's just they might have had a break or we might have made a mistake. But the levels are coming closer and closer together. And that's why you have to catch them off. You have to catch the big boys now and again on off days or a lazy day or a day that they've going and getting a new Bentley or something, I don't know. You know, like mine somewhere else or whatever. And I just think in that respect, we did that. We had to concentrate every game that we play, but your man was the man who made him do it most of the time.
And I think that shows in the lads that have come and spoke tonight, doesn't it? Exactly,
I like to think so.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Gary Wilson, thank you very much.